interesting scene here where Donna and Laura are sitting together, I believe, in the Hayward house.
Okay.
Because it's like it's after the.
No,
it's not. It's not after. I'm sorry.
This is before when they're both in the green chairs.
I think they're in the Palmer house at that point. I don't think that's the Hayward house. But Donna asks, if you were falling through space, would you slow down or would you just fall faster and faster? And then Laura kind of takes a minute to think about it, and then she says, you would fall faster and faster, and then you would burst into flames, and then you would burn forever? Isn't that what she says? Something like that?
And she said, like...
And then she says the angels wouldn't help because they'd all gone away.
That's
And then I brought up, I thought it was weird that the Nine Inch Nails song in part 8 of The Return has, like, the song's called She's Gone Away.
She's gone.
So, yeah.
It's like, just in cover. I can't lie, that was one of my favorite scenes in The Return.
Yeah,
by the way, I did not even know about the Nine Inch Nails. Like, maybe a little bit from you, but like, I hadn't listened to a lot of their music, but for some reason that scene was...
Oh no, it's cool, dude. Like, it's nice.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's just interesting because... Are they talking about... Like, the obvious one we said
would be Laura, but Lynch isn't that straight cut.
But yeah, he's not that cut and dry. He's not that... Yeah, so... Could it mean Judy? Could it mean, the Laura in this... Like, Laura that we know, and, like... But the Laura that Coop goes to find is still there, type thing. Like, who knows? Like, it's crazy. There's a bunch of little, like, phrase things that match up throughout Twin Peaks, but they don't necessarily correlate like that.
Right.
You know? So it's just kind of weird. I think he does it to throw people off. But I can't say that's all he does with it. Like, I have to believe that he has some other, like... You know what I mean? Because he just, like, he's so intentional with the stuff he does, and, like, he knows exactly... like what to write for each character and like what to, I don't know, it's just hard.
That's the thing though, because he is very intentional with what he does, but then again, he's definitely smart enough just to throw a little bit something in there to not make us go right. You know what I mean? Right to the answer. So
that's true. Yeah. So then Laura goes back home and she finds a page missing in her diary, and she freaks out, and I think she sees Bob.
Yeah.
And then she runs downstairs and then runs over to the next yard, or like 2 yards over.
I'd say the next yard.
I think it's the next yard.
I think it's literally the next yard.
And she's just like laying under the bushes, like wailing, like no. And then like her dad comes out, and it's like, how does he not hear her? Like, it's so weird. Like maybe it's because he's in the zone. Like,
so maybe like, you know how Bob and like they hate silence, but they love, just like the chaotic sounds and everything. Maybe to him that was like a normal sound. He's just like, wailing in the distance, like a bird chirping.
Okay.
Cricket, yeah.
That's a good point.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Of course, Lynch is not going to ever tell us, but we're trying.
He'll take this shit to his
grave. We're going to have to get his brain out.
Hell yeah.
Shocking.
David Lynch's brain needs to be preserved for science.
Yes.
Like, definitely. It's cool when she goes to help Shelly with the food drive with Double R and all that, and she sees the Chalfonts and the boy. I don't know if they give you first names; they just call them the Chalfonts. I think. Yeah.
I don't think anyone in the Red Room has like a first and last.
They don't really have identities. Yeah, it's weird. This is where he says, "That man behind the mask wants the missing paper or something like that." And then we kind of put together. Well, you said that it's Bob, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Leland is the mask. Leland is like Bob is the man behind the mask that is Leland." It was just interesting. I never thought about it like that, I guess. So, and then we have the Palmer family dinner scene, which is like
that is one of the most.
It's crazy. So we're watching the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. And it is, I believe, the extended cut.
Oh, that's what we were watching, the extended cut.
I believe so. I think that's the only one that's on, like the only version that's on that Blu-ray. You might be able to watch the theatrical version, but this movie has a lot of the missing pieces in it.
I'm like, but if you're a real Twin Peaks fan.
And it's weird, like, because there's still a whole thing of missing pieces. It's like an hour and a half of like stuff that didn't make the cut to the movie.
Didn't make the cut.
but
didn't we watch that whole thing through like it was just the movie? And we were just like,
we just watched it as like Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, like 1.5.
1 point, literally,
like it. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's not a structured movie, but if you watch like the movie and then you watch that, you kind of like fill in the blanks, kind of thing. Yeah. There's another scene with the Palmers where it's like a happy scene.
Oh yeah, that may be from the.
I think that's the missing.
That's
pieces.
the missing pieces.
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm mixing it up.
Because I remember distinctly that we watched that, after we watched the movie or whatever. And I remember we were like, man, we would have loved to see that in the movie, but
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a Twin Peaks at its core is pretty fucking dour. Like it's sad.
It's
pretty tragic. It's pretty depressing. But yeah, we talked about we wanted to do a COVID meme of
wash your hands.
Wash your hands. I don't know why I never saw that, and like I'm like sad that I never saw. Like I need more Twin Peaks memes in my life. It's crazy that. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying we could do it.
Yeah.
Even though I got to give a shout out to all the like Twin Peaks meme pages on Instagram, they do pretty good.
They do pretty damn well, yeah. And then just a few more points, and then we're gonna pause and finish the movie, and then we'll come back and finish the video. Just a few more things. Leland says to Laura, "There's dirt under this fingernail." And I brought up, I think that's Bob telling Laura that he's like soiled her, that she's no good anymore. And which is like accurate for an abusive relationship like that.
And and it was because you pointed out that he picked up the ring finger when he said that.
He specifically like chose the finger that you like put your wedding ring on.
You were saying
it symbolizes like the devotion and purity and that kind of thing. And so I think he's saying like there's dirt under this, like your most holy fingernail. Like there's dirt under that. Like you're a piece of shit. Like you're worthless is what he's telling her. And she believes it. It's really sad. What do you like? Did you get any other thoughts from that like little encounter? Or?
Just all right. So like right after that,
right.
Leland, like real Leland, no Bob influence, comes out and apologizes to his daughter. And I know we were pointing out like you can tell that she knows like this is her real dad, or I mean, it's just. I don't know. It's just so crazy seeing. It's like you're watching what is it called? Like an exorcism, when someone gets taken over by an evil spirit.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, but like not such a theatrical one. It's like real life.
Right.
More being taken over by vices than a spirit. It's weird.
Well, that is kind of it's crazy because at one point in season 1 or 2, Cooper or Truman says, "Is that all Bob is? The evil that men do?" Remember, like one of them says that. So it's crazy, It's crazy how it all kind of like
Truman,
bounces around.
The thinker,
yeah,
like literally.
Gary Truman's the man.
He's the man.
Like, he's the man's man for sure.
Is.
So I want your thoughts on this, and I want like what you thought the first time you heard it, and then what you think now.
Okay.
Why does Cooper tell Laura not to take the ring?
Ooh.
So like first time you watched it, like what did you think? Like what? Like you're like why? What answer did you get?
So yeah, I think the first time that I watched it, I just did not know why, because they don't really give you too much context leading up to it. You know what I mean? It just kind of happens.
Right.
The second time through, I kind of got that because you know how in the Red Room, like there's stuff is said, but there's not much said, but a lot is interpreted or a lot is understood.
Okay, right.
And I think like whatever signals Coop was getting at the time was kind of telling him like to tell her to not take it, but it's like you said, maybe he was like misreading the signals or something. So yeah, I don't know. I still am not 100% sure what or why he did that. Like why he,
I mean,
because it's like the guy's talking to Coop and then Coop's like, Laura, don't take the right. Isn't that how it goes?
It is weird, yeah, because the way they frame it. I mean, it's not like a pan over. It's a cut shot to Cooper.
To Coop, right?
So it's not like, but the way they frame it, they have the man. We'll just call him the arm.
The arm,
the man from another place, I think is what he's called at first. they have him looking to his left, like stage right, and then Cooper is appearing to be like to the right of him. So the way they cut it, you think he's telling it to Cooper. I'm assuming he's telling it to Laura, though.
Yeah.
But it's weird because we get the POV shot of Laura looking at Cooper when he says, "Don't take the ring." So he could be talking to Cooper, and then Cooper is like
the translator,
trying to relay the message, you know, but like the best way he knows how. And he's like, "Fuck that ring." Like, we don't know what's gonna happen, you know. There's so many things it could be.
So maybe it's because like maybe he knew like it was a link to the Red Room, and he knew evil existed in the Red Room. So maybe he's like, oh, don't even, like you said, don't even interact with this. There's something bad about it,
right?
Because like I keep thinking of why would he tell her not to take it when it literally protects her, but it's like he didn't have that knowledge either. So
right,
yeah,
and it's also like what era Cooper do we have right now?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the one from The Return because he doesn't look old.
He doesn't look old.
And
that's what I was gonna say. Like this movie is like, I would say it's melded with the show, but it's like in its own timeline. Like it's weird. I don't know.
Well, it's weird because I always tell people it is a prequel, but you have to have seen the show before you see that because there's stuff. I was just talking to my dad about this earlier today. There's stuff in the movie that you have to have like seen the show to understand. Like we were talking about that tonight. You asked me. You were like, "What if like someone knew nothing about David Lynch, nothing about Twin Peaks, just watched this movie, what would they think?" And I honestly don't. I mean, I may be wrong, and I'm sure I'm wrong about some people, but I would think your average person would be like, "What?
We gotta find the lab rat."
We should. We definitely should.
Could you imagine his first?
Oh my god. We're talking about one of our buddies from school from like way back. And,
oh my god.
He's definitely not into the weird shit like we are.
At all. Like, not into the abstract at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, who knows if he would like it or not. I just know.
Yeah,
I don't think he's into that right now, though. So then Laura tells Donna that she'll call her after Donna asks where she's going and blah, blah, blah. They're, like, hanging out at Laura's house.
Is this when Laura's dressed in all black?
It's right before the pink room. Like, the best scene. One of the best scenes in all of Twin Peaks to me. And she tells Donna she'll call her, and then she goes to the Bang Bang bar and meets her. We'll call them dates, and then
we're gonna be polite in this video.
Yeah, well, a little bit. And then she goes to the pink room. Is it before she enters the pink room that the log lady confronts her, or is it before she enters the Bang Bang? No, I think it's right before the Bang Bang. Yeah. So it's before she even meets the guys.
Yeah.
Log lady gives her a message about how like once you like start on this kind of thing, then basically what Laura was saying earlier, like you'll keep falling, you'll fall faster and faster, you'll burn forever, and like she talks about how the bows of innocence are like the tinder for the fire and like that kind of stuff. So,
and by the way, Log Lady is speaking to Laura like she's like a prophet or something. She has her hand on her forehead and she's all like.
Yeah, no, she's channeling the logs, like, energy, for sure, yeah. And it sounds really weird just, like, saying that, but if you're familiar with Twin Peaks at all, you'll know what I'm talking about.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. And then, like, just because this is where we stopped for now, the Mike Leland car scene.
Oh, man.
We gotta talk about that. I didn't write a lot of notes about it, but we just watched it, so...
Yeah.
So Leland and Laura are in the car going to get Sarah from somewhere, the mom.
Just going to meet her, I think. Right?
Yeah, they're going. Maybe they're going. Oh yeah, they say they're going to lunch.
Yeah,
we're going to be late to get your mom for lunch. I think he says that to her. And Mike, who we have not met yet in the movie, we've seen him a few times in the show. He's kind of a spiritual guide in the show. In the movie, he just kind of like pops up as a random guy. Which is like freaky as hell.
Yeah.
But I noted that it was interesting how it was similar and like kind of parallel to when Richard Horn is like plowing through town.
Is it literally the same place like that they're at? I kept trying to figure if it was like
it might be
because it seemed like it was literally the same.
It was mad similar. I don't know if it was the exact same like
like crossing
4-point stop whatever, but I think it's that same section of Twin Peaks.
Okay, I mean, I guess it has to be because the old guy was there. What's his name? That owns the trailer park. Carl. Yeah, he was there. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this that's echoed in that specific episode.
Yes.
Like in the one where the kid gets hit and Carl, has to kind of like think about life and like birth to death kind of crap. You know what I mean? Like
the kid, after the kid gets hit, he like turns into a ball of
like contemplation. Yeah, it's crazy.
Something.
But so far, I think we've gathered a lot since the last time we watched. So is this your second time watching it? Have you only seen it once, or have you seen it twice before?
I think twice.
So this is your third time watching it? Okay, cool. Because I think this is my fourth or fifth time watching the movie, and it's cool to sit with someone else and like hear another like normal-minded human being like trying to help you translate David Lynch. It's nice to have. But yeah, this movie is insane. Please don't watch it until you've watched the show, at least season 1 of the show, preferably like the selected episodes from season 2 as well. You can skip. Literally, I say this every time I talk about season 2. You can literally skip any episode after James leaves Twin Peaks. You can skip anything with James. He doesn't matter again until the return. So like, don't even. It's sad to say that because I dig James. He's a cool guy and all, but like,
he is overall.
You don't even need to worry. But like, it doesn't matter. It was a complicated time for the show, but nevertheless,
that makes sense.
It's still, it definitely, the show is like as a whole, I think, and the movie, like the franchise, just kind of suffers from that. Frost was more just a writer,
right?
Like he helped, and then Lynch would go in, he would help write. Like he co-created Twin Peaks, and then he would go in and direct a lot of the stuff. So there was still some control within their like professional whatever relationship.
And season 3 is like straight Lynch.
Season 3 is the two of them again.
Okay, there's the two of them.
And Lynch directed every episode in The Return.
Compared to he only directed like every here and there.
He directed, I think, like at least half of the first season.
Okay.
And then he directed 4 to 8 episods. I don't know.
So that because to me, like, do you have a favorite like season just in general, or?
Oh God, that's hard.
I'm sorry to drop this on you right now.
No, this is good. We need as much stuff as we can get.
For sure.
Oh man.
Because like I always want to say 3, but only because like everything comes to, and you can't even say everything comes together, but like more is understood.
As much as you're gonna get
with Twin Peaks, right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah.
And like to me, it's like pure Lynch, like in the veins,
Oh yeah, well, I mean, one of the producers said it's pure heroin David Lynch, and like, I mean, it's a kind of a fucked up way to put it. No, but it's true.
Trust me, it goes straight to the bloodstream.
It really does, and it's crazy because like you feel it, like every minute of it. Like you know, it's not like this is not like this season on Your Mother on the ABC channel. Like, this is not some bullshit television show. This is some real crazy shit.
This is some like I was saying, like every time you watch, like not even only season 3, like the movie too, but it's like you are transported into Twin Peaks. Like you are there.
I think just because I'm an asshole purist, I have to say season 1. I mean,
the foundation.
If the pilot is included in season 1, because rewatching the pilot most recently, the pilot is like almost as good as Firewalking.
Dude,
like, the pilot is so good. It's like I'm ashamed that I haven't watched it every time I've watched the show because it's such a great, like, strong start to a show.
It's really good.
It's so rare to see that. Like a lot of shows, they take a few episodes to kind of get going, and I guess it had an advantage because it was feature length But at the same time, like, they just, like, every bit of the pilot means something. Like, there's no extra fat, there's no... And, like, even with Lynch, like, a general audience would call a lot of his stuff fat, but, like, with him, it's different because he doesn't put